We're looking at the ACGIH TLVs and BEIs book, page 205, cold stress. Body temperature, maximum severe shivering develops when body temperature has fallen to below 35 degrees C or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. If you look at the next page, if you look at the clinical signs, when you get down to 32, core temperature down 32, 31 degrees, which is 89, 87, you have consciousness clouded, difficult to obtain, pupils dilated but reaction to light, shivering ceases. When you get down to 86 degrees, progressive loss of consciousness, muscular rigidity down to 84 degrees, increases pulse and blood pressure, difficult to obtain, respiratory rate decreases. When you get down to like 70 degrees body core temperature, your maximum risk of ventricular fibrillation takes place. So that's 70 degrees, about 22 degrees Celsius. Work warming regimen is really, really important. If it's work is performed continuously in the cold, below 7 degrees C, which is 19.4 degrees Fahrenheit, heated warming shelters, tents, should be made available nearby. Workers should use these shelters at regular intervals. The onset of heavy shivering, minor frostbite, feeling of excessive fatigue, drowsiness, irritability, euphoria, return to the shelter. Outer layers should be removed and the remaining of the clothing loosened to permit sweat evaporation or a change of dry work clothing. Dehydration or loss of body fluids occurs insidiously in the cold environment, may increase the susceptibility of the worker to cold injury due to significant change in blood flow to the extremities. Warm, sweet drinks and soups should be provided at work site to provide caloric intake and fluid volume. Coffee should be limited because of the diuretic and circulatory effects. For work practices below minus 12 degrees C or 10.4 degrees Fahrenheit, the worker should be under constant protective observation with a buddy system or a supervisor. Work rates should not be so high to cause heavy sweating that will result in wet clothing. Special workplace recommendations. The special design requirements include for refrigerator rooms, the air velocity should be minimized as much as possible and should not exceed 1 meter per second, 200 feet per minute at the job site. This can be achieved by properly designed air distribution systems. Special wind protective clothing should be provided based on existing air velocities to which workers are exposed. Special cautions should be exercised when working with toxic substances and when workers are exposed to vibration. Cold exposure may require reduced exposure limits. Eye protections for workers in snow or ice should be supplied. Special safety goggles to protect against ultraviolet light and glare, and blowing ice crystals should be required when there's expansive snow covering causing potential eye exposure.